This is part 3 of the tutor interview questionnaire. What subjects do you tutor, or what subjects do you think most students struggle with? Why? When I worked for Alternatives Unlimited and also through Camino, I tutored mostly language arts, English. The other popular subject is math, and as we all know, most funding right now is for English, math, and science. So the one that we really focus on was English and math, specifically English for English learners. And that is the subject that most students struggle with. There are many reasons that contribute to that struggle, and it can be just the basics. Maybe that student doesn't have enough books at home. That student might not have the background from their parents about why it's important to read and why it's important to speak correctly, and it's something that should be instilled from home and then brought into the classroom. I also feel that most students struggle, especially in California, with English because English might be their second language, even if they were born here, even if they're second generation, first generation, 1.5 generation. It doesn't matter what generation you're from. If you are first taught in a different language, you are starting school, let's say in kindergarten, and learning something completely brand new. So you are starting school already behind. And it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to catch up, if you can catch up. Question 7. What foundational weaknesses do you see most students generally have who seek tutoring? Most students they lack a lot of the basic writing structures and even reading tips, or just general things that come into reading comprehension. And that is the number one weakness, reading comprehension. And I can tell you, as a second grade teacher, we were told to basically assess the students by their reading speed. If the student read over 120 words per minute, then the student was performing at grade level. And the reading speed determined what group the student would belong to. However, students were not grouped by reading comprehension, since the assessment was on reading speed. It was called a reading fluency exam, and this was done every month or every other month. So I feel that we are focusing more on speed with the younger readers and getting them ready to read from kindergarten and sometimes even preschool, when we should maybe be focusing on comprehension. Question 8. What are the most common misconceptions, misunderstandings, or errors committed by students in Algebra 1? I did not tutor Algebra 1. However, I did tutor just math. And so I don't have an answer to that question. But I can tell you that for algebra, I did have a pre-algebra student, but the misunderstanding came mostly from word problems. And just the concept of having letters replace numbers uh, seem like foreign language to students. Question 9. Which strategies have you found to be most effective when tutoring? The strategy that was always effective when tutoring was using a visual. I would take my own personal iPad and have the students do an activity on the iPad, and that always seemed to grasp the students' attention. And also, another thing that would help would be to have material, hands-on material that the student could actually manipulate. I know that's almost impossible on a daily basis with a classroom, but for tutoring it would be helpful. Question 10. How do you think effective strategies used in tutoring can be incorporated into a classroom setting where students don't have that undivided one-on-one attention all the time? So I answered that previously. But these strategies can be incorporated at least once a week in the classrooms. I feel that sometimes as teachers we get too comfortable, and it just is so much easier to read the lesson off the book. But that's not the most conducive way of teaching, and not for the students' learning as well. They're stimulated multiple times throughout the day with their phones, with their video games, with television, and all these bright colors and contrasts grabbing their attention. It would be hard for a teacher that's reading off of a book to grab a student's attention when they have all types of other distractions they're used to the rest of their whatever 16 hours a day. So that's question 10.